lot of times in any situation, business, relationships, friendships, any of it, if you just throw a conversation on someone that they're not prepared to have, outcome is not usually what you're hoping for.
Right.
Be making a request of someone at a bad time, or the two of you might be on different pages. So, who knows, that boss could have thought that you were not, the whole time thinking, well, at any day, he's just going to quit because I think that he's probably planning on doing this. And you're going, I was planning on working this job for 10 years. Why are you not, and that can be a miscommunication. And so one of the best tips to set yourself up for success in that scenario is to have a conversation with your boss ahead of time. Really timing, especially if you've never done this before, is maybe on the anniversary of when you were hired. And that can be broken down. It could be a 6-month point, or it could be the 1-year point. But I know when let's just say a job that I'd taken several years ago, I came in, I'm doing the job. I had never done it before. So I knew that the salary I was being given was at an entry-level salary because I had no experience doing that particular job. And then 6 months into the job, I thought to myself, I do like this. I am planning on sticking around here. Also, I'd like to get paid more. So I went to my direct supervisor and said, I had the conversation. I've been working for the company for 6 months. I'm really enjoying it. I can really see myself working here for a while. I know that we're about halfway between when I was hired and my first yearly review. And I want to know what it is that you want to see from me in order to have the best review possible and in order to be considered for a raise. Because I know that I was hired at an entry level salary because I didn't have any experience. 1-year point, I would want to do what I need to do in order to earn a raise. And having that conversation, you're already putting it in their head way ahead of time that you do want the raise. You are planning on having the conversation. So you've already planted the seed at the 1-year mark. I'm getting on us having a conversation about me having a raise. But especially when you're new to the job, giving a 6-month lead up would be so beneficial to getting a raise at all, or how much of a raise you could potentially earn. So some questions that you can ask that are not threatening, they're not going to be, people are not going to get upset about it, is to ask, how do pay raises work at this company? What is the structure for reviewing and authorizing raises? So you're not really saying, I need a raise, I want one right now, will you give me more money? But you are letting them know you're interested in that conversation, letting them know that you're interested in doing what it takes. Because the other thing is, a long time ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, simply putting in more years did warrant increased pay. Okay, you've been here 2 more years, here's more money. Okay, you've been here another year, here's more money. But in today's society, it never works that way. I don't know a single job where it works that way. It is only based on merit. So if you are not doing the things that are going to inspire your boss to give you a raise, or to give you a good raise, because they could throw such a small amount at you that you're like, just keep it. So in order to get the actual raise that you want, you need to know what they want to see out of you. And you're not going to know that if you don't have the conversation. And when you're approaching that way, collaboratively with your boss, I'm not just coming to you and asking you for more money. I'm asking you, what do you want from me that would inspire you to give me the raise that I want? What are the things you need to see from me? Because I know that I have fallen into this trap before where I might think that something is really important and somebody else might think, I didn't even know that was an option. It's certainly not on the top of my priority list. So you need to know what your boss values. Do they value, usually the people who get the best raises in here stay after work an hour, a couple of days a week. We like to see that level of dedication. Or, well, the best raises around here are given to people who show the most performance on this, or who do the best on these particular metrics. Or, well, for you, I think you've been doing a good job up to this point. Let's just use this job that I had, for example. You're doing really great. You need to make sure that your documentation is always in on time. You need to make sure that you're, always meeting your productivity standards for the week. With, no customer complaints, and be able to give me 4 or 5 things. And then here's what you can do with it. Firstly, you've had the conversation so that the boss knows it's coming and they're ready for it. Second of all, you've figured out the list of what I need to do to get the raise. And thirdly, you've given yourself enough time to adjust. If I come to you 3 to 6 months ahead of time and say, I am looking at having this conversation with you in June, what do I need to do between now and June to set myself up for success when we have that conversation? And now we're working together, and it's not guaranteed, but it is a teamwork. It's you and your manager creating a plan for how you're going to get a raise. Instead of just whether or not you're going to get it.
It makes it easier, isn't it?
Yes.
Also, you find out like, are they able to give you the raise? Because a lot of companies are not profitable and they can't really actually pay the certain amount. So by asking the question, you'll know like a 6-month time, the company doesn't have the budget to give the everything, even though I impress the boss and I do everything I need to be doing. Then you can think about if I need the raise, because everyone different. Like some people need the raise because the bills is high, mortgage payment is high, car payment, they probably have a new child. So you're probably thinking about leaving the job and look for a better job because there is no growth you can see here. So like you mentioned, asking them kind of question gives you enough time for 6 months or a year ahead, so you can plan out, I have in this company, do I have a future or not? If not, then I can look for other alternatives. So you're really tough. So I'm going to ask you another question related to business wise. So since you've been coaching business owners, so how business owners like get in clients and like new customers, how the communication would be for like closing more deals and certain things?
Well, I think in all of the business space that I'm seeing right now, you hear over and over, people will purchase from people who they know, like, and trust. So if you can keep those things in mind, it can help to direct your actions with those people in order to make sure that you're having the outcomes that you want. So if it's somebody who doesn't know you well at all, you need to understand they don't know me. So just pitching them out of the blue is going to be a lot more difficult. What are some things that I can do to help them to get to know me better? So there are a few ways that I personally go about it. And so I'll just kind of share